Hello and welcome back to Civilization 6, Sid Meier's Civilization 6, the preview edition of the game. Just a little bit of housekeeping. The preview editions, it was told to us, are expected to expire at this time, probably in the next 45 minutes. It may do that, it may not. We're going to give it a shot and go as long as we can. Currently we're at turn 200. 1390 AD, and we are in the midst of a little bit of a crisis. We have our cities over here. Again, we have 3 cities, fairly large and very substantial. Many districts around, many wonders around. We have a settler who is headed down here to let's be honest, we're trying to thwart this English settler from coming down and creating a problem for us here. One English city is already existing up here. We've also sent another settler up to this area to gain these 2 strategic resources. So we'll see what happens there. Let's continue on. Rome, England, and Norway are our opponents, and so we are on relatively decent terms with Norway, but England and Rome both have denounced us and are not really that pleased with us. If we take a look at our score, England is definitely a stronger influence on the world. They are building wonders at a pretty good rate compared to us. They are comparable with us. Rome and Norway have no wonders built, but England's empire score is significant compared to ours. So it's something we'll have to keep an eye on. We are currently leading in culture and just in culture. I'm sorry. We're second place in science, but nobody's really gotten to a science victory yet. To get to a victory, we have to launch a satellite. We have to land somebody on the moon and then establish the Martian colony. The next step for us would be to build a spaceport. For culture, we have to attract more visiting tourists by generating large amounts of culture and tourism, which we're doing a great job of. When our visiting tourists outnumber our domestic tourists, we get a cultural victory. Right now we're getting 3 visitors from Norway, 2 from England, and 1 from Rome. England is getting 3 tourists. Don't know where they're from, but we're currently leading there. No capitals have been captured. To achieve a domination victory, you have to capture each capital. That does not necessarily mean that you have to defeat them entirely. You just have to capture their capital. And there are 2 religions in the world right now. Neither one is really making an effort to try and convert anybody. I have not been converted, and Norway, who does not have a religion, has not been converted either. So now that we've kind of caught up on everything, we've built our caravel unit has appeared, and we have a great admiral here, and it needs to be with a unit before it can form an armada. Armadas are faster, stronger, and make quite the presence in the Navy. So we're gonna and we definitely want to have that because England has a very strong navy. Norway is trying to have a strong navy. I'm not sure how successful they are, but Our Navy is not that powerful. So forming an armada gives us a little bit of an advantage on that. At this point we can build another trade unit. I'm done with trading for a while, I think. Commercial hub. Oh, medieval war. Let's go ahead and start working on this. That's going to take a while, but I'm feeling confident that they're going to be used. So that's the settler who's going to come up here and try and get the access to these strategic resources. That settler. Do we want to establish the city there? Yeah, I mean, it's a good place. It really is a good place. We've got good access to water. We've got some luxury resources nearby. Some bonus resources there. Let's go ahead and do that. And hopefully, we'll turn that settler around. Maybe make them go back to their own continent. And not try and surround me. So we'll build the granary to give us a boost to food and housing to get us started. And what we could do also at this point is build trade units here, and then have them go to my own cities, which would then provide them with additional food and production to help, kind of get these smaller cities off the ground a little bit quicker. That settler's still coming. This is gonna be fun. I mean, peace is nice. Let's be honest. Peace allows for growth. Peace allows for development, learning. But you build military units to use, right? The Ghost Regiment is still over there. Still gaining experience and still wiping out swordsmen. So we'll build the medieval walls there. And I've built my first spy. So now I can target a city with my spy. And I'm going to target London. So this is telling me it takes 3 turns to travel to the city, and then 3 turns to actually infiltrate the city. And then once it infiltrates, it will be able to tell me what's going on there. Since it's capital, maybe it can give me additional information. Here are the missions it can do. It can steal technology. It will go to the campus because it can go to each one of these particular districts. It gives me the percentage on success. But it also tells me how many turns it will take for these particular things to happen as well. So I'm going to what am I going to do? I'm gonna do a listening post. I don't have to choose it right now, but those are, I have to think about these things in advance because I don't want to, I get there and conditions might change by then. Who knows? My armada is out here. Let's just send him and just run right over that British ship. Oh, if only it were true. I'm going to leave him there. I'm just going to fortify him because I want to be able for him to be a musket, but I need to get the niter, which we have not gotten yet. So we're going to have to go ahead and fortify him there. And the advantage of trying to establish cities in a particular area, 1 for territory, 2 for any kind of resources that might be out there, but 3 also to extend any possible trading routes that might be available to us. Our units hanging on there. I'm going to let him heal up again. And we get another great person. This one is going to be a great writer. William Shakespeare. He's going to give us Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet. So that's going to be as we saw earlier, or saw in a previous video, we have built some museum areas so that there are places for these great works to reside. Because I believe, if I remember correctly from the last time, I only have one slot left in my capital.
Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon, that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
The great bard. And so now I've completely filled up my palace. So, but I did build an amphitheater in Mwala. So what I'll do is send Bill down there, and he can work on his second work, which was Hamlet, to go down there. And we're doing great on tourism and culture with these great works of art. And you can take a look at each one if you want. But right now, my great works are providing me with 23 culture, some additional food gold and production, but basically what I want out of my great works is culture and tourism. And they're doing a really great job. So Bill needs to go down here. Shakespeare and I are tight. You know, we call each other by our first names. But he'll come down here and build that second. But that also showed me that I need to start thinking about building some more museums and more amphitheaters for additional places for great works. Because I'm obviously still producing enough points in those particular writing and artist areas that I'm going to need places to put their works. Having a great artist is not beneficial at all if you have no place to show off their stuff. I am no longer the suzerain of Laventa. Didn't we just go through this? England is going to come down here. I'll bet you anything. And if that happens, she should just keep on going. Just keep on going. Just walk right on by all that and go back west. It's not going to happen. I took too long to develop this southern area, and I'm going to pay the price. Norway has finally added a new city. That's awesome.
The lowest is to attack a city. Siege of a city is only done as a last resort.
I don't know if I believe that either. And I can now build Renaissance walls. Now, first of all, I have to build the medieval walls, and then I can build the Renaissance walls. Those are going to strengthen my cities. And forts will build up the defenses as well. So we still want to heal. Let's take a look at the technology tree and see where we want to go now. I believe that she is now in the industrial era. I would like to be in the industrial era. How would I like to get there? I can go to I'm going to go with scientific theory. That's going to boost my sciences again, but it's also going to allow me to exchange, to work together with other civilizations, although I don't know who I'm going to work with, to build, to research additional scientific technologies. So let's do scientific theory. Plus, this is also going to force me to do astronomy and get that wonder. I like wonders. So what did I get this time? A great musician. And now we've run into the problem. Johann Sebastian Bach has no place to go to do his music. So
this musician is inspired by our civilization and has come to our land to create great musical works. I suggest we find somewhere to house these masterpieces immediately.
What we're going to do is spend some gold. That's how we're going to have to do it. So let's build a. Let's see if we can build something here close by. What do we have available to us? We can build an art museum, which can hold a great work of art. That's not going to help me. I don't know what. I don't have anything that would hold music. Yeah, amphitheaters are going to be great works of writing. Let's go to the Cyclopedia. Great musician. I need to... Yeah, it doesn't tell me what I would need to build to house a great work of music. That's going to be unfortunate, I think. All right, well, let's just kind of hang out here, Johann, until I can figure out how we can find a place for you to showcase your art. And as you can see on the right-hand side, your promise to the Roman Empire to move the troops has been fulfilled. When you say things like, I'm just passing through, you're promising that you're not going to attack. And that, I believe, lasts a certain amount of time. And then you're kind of relieved of that promise. So that if...
Remember that politics, colonialism, imperialism, and war also originated in the human brain.
Yeah, if I wanted to attack at that time, I can do it now with a less warmonger policy, or warmonger penalty. I've advanced into a new age and era, which means my city-state quests have also changed. So, a great general, a boost for economics, a boost for civil engineering, train a horseman, a boost for steam power, and train a merchant. So they really half want me to do things to get boosts and half want me to produce great persons. I can do both. I will try and do both. The Ghost Regiment is going to fortify until it heals. I now have another envoy. I'm going to... this says I have 3. Excellent. So we're gonna go ahead and take these 2 to 6. And now let's go back and take a look. I'm gonna gain a lot of faith there, but that was more about being the suzerain, because that one's like right next to me. And Brussels, I'm going to get additional production for each industrial zone that is producing wonders and buildings and districts. again, it's more about being allied with those city-states on my own continent. Geneva, I will find a way to keep you on my side. Because we've gone to the industrial era, all of our roads are now better. It's probably, let's see, we've gone through 1, 2, 3, maybe this one's actual blacktop? I'm just pondering out loud. I have no idea what it really is. And the roads themselves don't look much different. Although these kind of maybe stone, at least in my city areas, and then more dirt path along the way. The game is so visually appealing. I mean, it's just, there's so much vibrancy, and the game feels alive, and because the cities themselves are spread out, it's more impactful. The details are greater. The ability to, see the wonders that you've built standing alone in those areas, or to see the amphitheater in the culture area. Oh, that's just annoying. That's just annoying. And I'm going to have to do that. I was content to just stand there and heal, but no. And what that's done, though, is that has kind of sucked me in so that this spearman could possibly do something there. But like I was saying, it's more visually appealing. There's greater detail. There's greater emphasis on spreading things out and letting cities breathe more, letting the land breathe more. You're not going to see spider monkeys swinging through the vines or tarantulas crawling in the rainforest, but you can almost imagine them there. I mean, the rainforests and the woods and even the plains, they all have that particular look and particular feel to them. I've waxed poetic enough. So now we're going to build an art museum here. Those types of cities are those types of buildings are all being built in my theater district, and gaining more culture, more tourism along the way. Trajan has built the Colosseum. The Colosseum didn't get built until 1460. Wow. If you think about it, that's maybe not so dramatic anymore, because so many of the wonders are now very terrain specific. And if you don't, we couldn't build the pyramids because we didn't have a desert. If you don't have it, you're never going to build it. And unless there's a more than one particular area that has that particular terrain or that particular feature, like being surrounded by mountains on 3 sides. I don't know that there's a wonder that does that, but it wouldn't surprise me. That wonder is not going to get built in the era that maybe it normally would have in past games. So we're at 1460 AD and the pyramids are just getting built. Maybe that's how it happens in this world. Who knows? William Shakespeare has come down here, and he's going
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and, by opposing, end them.
an appropriate quote for Civilization, I believe. But that great work, that great writing, is now being displayed in the amphitheater down there. It fills up all my slots now. I don't think I can get... I can maybe trade... I could have traded, I guess. Yeah, you can trade. So what I could have done... I'm going to have to... if I will build another amphitheater in my other city, and what I will do is take one of the writing out of my palace and put it in that amphitheater, and that will give me at least one area where Johann Sebastian Bach can produce his music. So let's do that. Is it Mumbai? Yeah, they. So now I have that opening. So what I'm going to do is move that down to here, and I can bring Bach back into the palace, and he can at least produce one bit of music for me. Tuning, obviously. I could really, I love Bach. I could just sit and just listen to that. They could have played the whole thing. It would have been nice. So now that's being displayed in the palace. If I have another city here, I can. I can't buy an amphitheater down here because I don't have the appropriate district to put it in. So that may be something that when I establish these cities, again, the districts will definitely come into play about how you can manage your civilizations. And so it's very important to think about, and I should have maybe thought about expanding sooner so that these cities would be more developed, so they would have these opportunities to do these great works. But we'll adapt, adjust, move on, and see what happens. She still hasn't built her city down there. Okay, so they didn't attack me. I'm surprised. That's good. So back up and heal. My spy is now there. So now I can do one of these 4 things. I'm going to... let's go and gain sources. What that's going to do is give me more information. It's going to take 8 turns, but I do have a 100% chance of mission success. I don't have a place for you. I'm sorry. So we're going to put you back out here and put you back to sleep. So my first city up here is in an area to where I am now. I will have access to the niter, and there's another one right here, which I can buy that tile fairly quickly and have access to both. I'm gonna have to actually buy both tiles. Let's go ahead and do that, because that's why that city is there. And then we're going to buy a builder as well. And we'll work on building a granary, but in the meantime that builder is going to be able to access those strategic resources and get some incense on the side as well. Luxury is always good. Amenities keep everybody happy. But the niter is what we're going to use to convert our unique swordsman units into musketmen. You know what? Look, I'm going to ignore this because I'm not ready to declare war yet, but this is coming close. I'm as far as I know, she's at my border, not me at her, and she did she built it. Growl. Fine. Okay. All right. So this is what we're gonna have to do. It's what we're gonna have to do. I'm gonna build these first, and then get my musketmen to a place where they are I'm sorry, my swordmen. And she's denouncing me again. You know, I'm so used to it now. It's like, if you didn't, I'd be surprised. Shock and amazement, I know. We've also boosted our knowledge towards rifling, and that's going to probably come into play very quickly. Because we bought those tiles and bought that builder, we've really expended our money. Good to see you too, Harold. So we may not have the numbers of military that we could possibly have, but we're definitely gonna have the strength. Let's go down. I had one who was, yes, there he is. So we're gonna upgrade him to a musketman. And now his unit is significantly stronger. And I'm going to start moving everybody down here, because it's going to happen. It's coming. And so, you know, why deny it? But don't tell her. I want it to be a surprise. Technically, I don't want it to be a surprise, because that's going to give me a high warmonger penalty. As a matter of fact, I probably should go ahead and denounce her now to reduce that warmonger penalty even further.
Astronomy compels the soul to look upwards and leads us from this world to another.
I don't know if you've noticed, but in the game, the sun rises and sets. The game goes from light to dark. That's actually something in the setting, but I did activate it for this. You could probably have it so that it's always sunlight, but I just like the way that it looks at night. I mean, the Great Lighthouse glows. The Great Library glows. It's all about making look at this entertainment district. The little carousels are. It's adorable. Oh, there's a balloon. Somebody lost their balloon. I'm sorry. I'm fixated on these little details, because it's the little details that are really what is what's making this game stand out and be different from previous iterations. That's not to say that the other ones were bad by any stretch of the imagination, or were lacking in any way. But this Civilization 6 was basically built from the ground up. And the idea that these kinds of things can now happen. These kinds of things are the technology at which they can build the game itself, but the technology at which it can be displayed has advanced so much in the 25 years of Civilization. And I'm not saying that this is the pinnacle, but this is a good step forward. Thus endeth the lesson. I'm going to go ahead and start, I'm going to start actually building significant strength in my army. We're going to fortify up for now. This city's going to fall. This is a city I'm going to attack first anyway. And then come up here to Manchester. And if I do it right, if I do it appropriately, I should not have that much of a warmonger penalty, but also all these city-states are going to have my back. progress towards opera and ballet, more culture, more tourism. This guy, I'm actually going to bring him back home. He's powerful. I wish I knew. He's earned it. He's earned this kill. He's earned the ability to at least try and wipe this out and take the gold. There you go, attaboy. Now come home and become a musket man. Going to build some more here. I need more iron. I need horses, I need niter. And in the meantime, let's build a crossbowman. Ranged units are never bad to have when you're assaulting a city, because they can just, if you have enough of them, they can wear down the city before the city can wear them down. Our builder is going to build that second strategic resource there. So whoops. Sorry about that. That was an alert telling me that I have a 45-minute run tomorrow morning. But you didn't need to know that. But if you're a follower of me on
works
Twitter,
on natural history, we constantly find details of the marvelous adaptation of animals to their food, their habits, and the localities in which they are found.
this is the archaeology that I really wanted, the zoo antiquities. As I started to say, if you follow me on Twitter or follow me in Instagram, you probably have seen already my running exploits, but we won't get into that here. So there's no policy changes here, so let's just continue on. We've discovered places of where I can send out an archaeology unit to excavate, and this kind of is a spin-off from Beyond Earth. If I recall correctly, in Beyond Earth you could send out units to discover alien artifacts, and if you had enough of them together, they would become something different and give you a major boost to your civilization and to your city. So that may be something from carryover from Beyond Earth. Can I? No, I can't. I was just seeing if I could actually buy an archaeologist. But these antiquity sites are out here now, and another resource which I can try and exploit. Harvest, not exploit. It's time to change our civic. And at this point, since we are committed to war, we're going to go ahead and focus our civilization, our civic, on something military. Scorched Earth campaign. No, I'm not keen on that. Nationalism. Nationalism's not bad. Not especially on our home continent. We get to claim another great person. Probably. No, it's an artist. Oh my goodness. We're running out of places for you guys. Stop advancing so much. This one's actually going to produce 3 works of art. It's a byproduct of all the culture and all the tourism that we're doing, but I'm having a hard time building up enough places to put the stuff. So All right. Our ghost regiment is done. Has done his ghostly deeds. So let's bring him home. Well, that way he can come home. He can heal, but he can also become a rifleman. And our builder is going to go down here for a final attempt. We have another envoy that we can use. I'm just at this point I'm just kind of antagonizing. And I neglected. That's why I had that 3. That one time I get 2 envoys whenever I earn 150 influence points. So now Geneva, I'm in the second tier of bonuses, but obviously Rome is still has more envoys there than I do. We'll work on that. Some people appreciate me. So now I have an artist and nowhere to really, got nowhere to go. So we'll put him to sleep. It's disappointing. It just kind of these I'm kind of I want to explore so much in this version. By if I really was dedicated towards doing a cultural victory, I would
Like to the apples on the Dead Sea shore, all ashes to the taste.
I would have not really put an effort towards building up my military, but I want to do these things. Dead Sea, 2 tiles. It appears like a lake, but it provides faith and culture and fresh water. Oh, units heal completely if they heal for 1 turn next to the Dead Sea. So soothing as well. But not anywhere near me. But not near anyone else either, which is interesting. That is that's a wonder. Not mine. It's kind of fun to just see the different things that show up on the maps. I mean, here's silver. We don't have silver on our continent, so maybe I have to think about this. The antiquity site. You can see the ruins. You can see them here in the rainforest. This is kind of fun. So our catapult has been built. We're gonna go ahead and build the plantation here because it's gonna. I could boost. Well, I could boost the. I can have access to the incense. Yeah. I was thinking about maybe coming over and cutting down the forest here and gaining more production over here, but having that luxury resource also adds to the amenities, keeps everybody happy. So my catapult unit stopped. Maybe because the spoon got in his way. I'm gonna have to think about where to put this catapult because he needs a clear shot. He's got a range of 2, but he has to have a clear shot. He has to either be up on a hill or in clear terrain and not get blocked by woods or rainforest or a mountain, what have you. So I'll have to think about where to actually place him so that he has a clean shot on the city. Because ideally you want to soften up the cities with ranged units. That was an odd sound. What was that? Aha! My spy is reporting in. So, by gaining those sources, what has happened is that now my spy is actually 2 levels higher. for the next 24 turns, which means that previously these percentage success were significantly lower. Now they're more reasonable. I could also just do the listening post. Let's do the listening post for now. It's only going to take me 8 turns, and it's a 100% chance, a 100% chance of mission success. That was an interesting sound, though. That was pretty cool. I had never heard that sound before. So we're going to move our crossbowman down here. Okay, so now we think about where we're going to put the... I could put it over here. And I think that'll be a clear shot. Let's go over here. It's also in my territory. Not saying that that's necessarily a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying it is a thing. So now we can build musketmen. We have enough niter. Victoria has built another wonder. You couldn't see it, but I'm shaking my head. She's really just getting on my nerves. The spearman will fortify up for this turn. I'm going to wait and bring down that crossbowman before I... Unless my hand gets forced.